Kelsey thought that she was going to be the only one busting balls.
What?
What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Season 1, Episode 8, and the name of the episode is called Splitting Hairs, okay? Now, the last time, I went on a trip this weekend, and the last time I came here was Thursday, and I told y'all that I was going to get off and record the episode, and I actually did. But when I got ready to edit the video and I was listening to the video back, baby, there was no sound.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
I had forgot to turn on the microphone because I was in a rush, and it was like a 42-minute review, and I was just so pissed off. I was mad, and I was going to try to do it the next morning. I did not have time to do it, and I bought my laptop with me because I planned on working while I went on the trip, and it was just a hard time for me. For some reason, my laptop updated, and when it updated, it kicked me out of Canva, and it also kicked me out of StreamYard.
No!
So what happened was I used to have a different email address, and the email I still have the email on these accounts. However, they can't send me a password to the emails because I just erased everything from the email. So I'm having a hard time trying to change it still now as we speak. So I'm going to have to try to do something else. But nevertheless, we are here today. Today is Wednesday morning. I got back last night. I got up, went to the gym, was 3 hours of sleep, back to the regularly scheduled program. And y'all about to see me in a way that y'all never seen me before because I have to get these videos out, edited and out, okay? Today is Wednesday. I will try to have this video out, and I will be going live later on today to discuss the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. But again, we are here today to talk about The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Season 1, Episode 8, and the name of the episode is called Splitting Hairs. Now, I have not seen Episode 9 yet, just to let y'all know. And I had to really read these notes again and watch the episode again because only thing that I kind of remember word for word and everything that happened was what happened with Rosie and Kelsey. Okay? So the episode started off with Alicia, okay? Her daughter Selena has dance lessons 5 days a week, and since Billy is an entrepreneur, most of the time he's busy, so he won't be able to take her back and forth to dance lessons. So in comes Alicia, who will be doing most of the picking up and dropping off of Selena. Now, Alicia has issues with driving. Remember she told us she hit a lady before?
Oh my God.
And there's a bridge on the way to where the dance lessons are held at that she's terrified of. So she and Billy are doing a test drive so she can feel more comfortable taking Selena back and forth to dance rehearsal, okay? Now, at first, when we first met Alicia, I thought that this was an act coming from her, this whole dizzy, aloof type of woman, but it's starting to settle into me that this is Alicia's real personality. And with this being her real personality, I think that she is perfect for Housewives, okay? Alicia shares with Billy what happened on the trip to Newport Beach. Why are we calling it a trip when it was only 30 minutes away? It was not a trip, baby. It was a sleepover. This is that bullshit. If Potomac, or as Rodney the voice called it, pool tournament, shout out to Rodney. If the Potomac ladies would have went anywhere that was 30 minutes away, they would have been dragged online. But because these women aren't Black, they're not. Baby, I'm telling you, baby.
The line is always moving.
And most of the time, it's from your own people. Alicia shares with Billy that after she told the group that she was homeless, she felt that she was attacked by Liz. She said, knowing Liz growing up, she puts her on a pedestal, so when she's coming at her, it feels stronger than when the other ladies come at her. And this is what people mean by they don't want to be on the show with their friends or, siblings and stuff on the show, right? Because you can't be independent or you can't be an individual. You always have someone you have to look after, right? Or look out, watch their back. Or you have people micromanaging you when you just want to be free and be able to be yourself. And I know that well, right? I am 10 months and 2 days older than my younger siblings. They are actually twins. And so they were always right after me. My brother being me and him being boys, I never got to do anything on my own and to just be an individual. I always had to, look after them. And not that it's a bad thing, but sometimes you just want to exist on your own. Just be with your friends. I can understand it. I think that people who don't have siblings that are probably the same sex as them, that's really, really close to them, or really close to their age, they wouldn't really understand the dynamic that it can, what it can feel like. Okay. I do think that Liz overstepped though. I think that Liz overstepped. I think that Alicia should be able to tell her experience about what happened to her when her father left her and her mother, right? Without any interruptions, especially if they wasn't living with Liz.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
I think that Liz was out of line. Okay. Billy gave Alicia great advice. He said that you can't control other people. You can only control your reaction. And I'm still learning that. I think that I try to control other people so I won't have a reaction. But like I told y'all before, I am a work in progress. Alicia also shared with Billy that Joanna showed her a picture of Brian and the mistress, and Joanna wants her to tell Rulla about it because they're close, okay? She said that she's conflicted because if it was Billy, she would want a friend to tell her, but she doesn't want to kick Rulla while she's down. I think that a lot of people feel like that if their spouse was cheating and a friend knew, they will want their friend to tell them. But I don't think that that's true. That's just not the truth. I think that people will want to know if their spouse was cheating on them, but they wouldn't want to know or the information to come from a friend because they will feel like that friend always has something up on them. And this is another thing where you don't know what you want or what you would do until it knocks on your door. In my opinion, Rulla would have to be my best friend for me to say anything to her about it. And still, if I knew that Brian had cheated on Rulla in the past and she stayed, I wouldn't tell her shit. I wouldn't tell her shit. That ain't none of my business. Right? That's none of my business. I wouldn't tell her nothing. And it is what it is. Alicia ended up making it over the bridge without incident. But do you think that I would trust Alicia dropping my daughter off back and forth?
No. No, baby.
Absolutely not. Alicia doesn't seem to be all the way there. You know what I'm saying? She's the fruit cracker short in the head, and there's no way that she would be dropping off my daughter. I would probably hire the OLG, her aunties or her grandma, or her mama to probably drop Selena off because I'm not. I feel like Selena probably would make it to dance recitals better than she could. I just wouldn't trust her with my daughter in the car with her, and I know that that's her daughter too. I'm saying this if I'm Billy. I just wouldn't trust her in the car with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I would just wouldn't trust her in the car with my daughter. She got to have all these oils. She got to eat crackers and stuff like that. And she got to have a playlist. Not with my child. Not with my child, because anything can happen when you're driving. You got to keep your head on the swivel. Sometimes, I told y'all this before. Sometimes when I'm driving, I have literally just been looking down at my phone sometime and almost had a wreck in a split second. And you have to be able to, anything can happen. Even when you're not just looking at your phone. Anything can happen at any split moment, and I just don't trust Alicia. I just wouldn't trust her riding around with my daughter.
No way. No way.
Rosie is going on a walk with Richie. I think that Richie is my favorite husband from Rhode Island that we've seen so far. He seems really supportive of Rosie, and he really shows up like a true partner to her. Even when Rosie was on Watch What Happens Live, Richie was at the bar, and as Rosie was playing some of the games with Andy, he was helping her out with some of the questions, okay? Now, Rosie says that they're building an additional 5,000 square feet to their home, and that the home had some setbacks, but they're still building, okay? Now, she said that it was initially 8,000 square feet at first, but now it's 5,000, okay? She shares with Rich that she and Kelsey agreed that they was going to try and get along, and she is going to try to be a friend of her by asking her to cut her hair, and she's going to take pictures of it and post it online to help Kelsey with her business.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go.
Baby, this is what I say about Rosie being green. Real Disney Channel. There is no way I would let Kelsey in my motherfucking head. No way. Right? Ain't that much trying to be a friend in the world. I'm from the South. And my grandmothers on both sides did not believe in letting anyone in your head. They also didn't believe in leaving any hair in a comb or brush, right? They said that if you left your hair in a comb or brush, a person could drive you crazy. So whenever somebody did anything with their hair, if they did anything with their hair with a comb or a brush, with their own combs and brushes, right? Because you never know who could come into your house, who could go into your restroom or do something to grab it. Maybe they always got their hair, put it in some toilet paper and flushed it down the toilet, right? They really do believe that. And it, you know, I used to think that it was crazy until I've gotten older and learned about some things, whatever. Yeah, she would not be in my head. She would be in my head, but again, this is Rosie, this is not me. So I think that it's a great olive branch for her. But girl, just be careful. Just be careful.
You stupid girl.
Rosie shares with Rich that she's doing everything to keep everyone happy, and then they just jump on her. Rich tells her if it happens again to basically give them hell and go after them. They don't respect her, and if she continues to allow them to disrespect her, they will keep doing it, okay? The girls are nasty. And shout out to Ashley for standing up for her, because really Liz and Joe Ellen, as my grandmother would say, tore their draws with me in Newport. To say that Rosie gave a backhanded compliment still bothers me to this day, and it's clear that they don't like Rosie. It's clear that they chose a side and they don't like Rosie. And if they would lie about something simple like that, there is no telling what they would lie about. And I don't trust them. And I'm also wondering why when Joe Ellen was on Watch What Happens Live, how come Andy didn't press her about that? Why wasn't she asked about the backhanded compliment? You know, was it something that we didn't see? She should have been called out and should have been made to answer about that. Now we get to the whore of Rhode Island, baby, Kelsey. Her sister Taylor and her mother Julie comes over to her new apartment. And I've been waiting to see this because I wanted to see what type of environment Kelsey grew up in. And seeing Kelsey with her family showed me that she is a girl who has not been told the truth. Okay. Now, one truth that was told to Kelsey, her sister made a joke about the apartment being the size of the closet at her old house. But it'll do. I did not like that.
I don't like it.
I did not like that. I'm just being honest. I did not like that. First of all, it wasn't her closet.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
It was never her closet. Second of all, when she's making a step trying to get from under that man, don't kick her while she's down and make her insecure about it. Because in reality, I feel like that Kelsey is looking for any reason to go back to that man, right? Remember, Kelsey left her parents' house and went straight to living with him. So for 10 years, she has been waiting on for hand and foot, right? So I can imagine the adjustment. Again, that is a lot to leave. And I said the same thing about Cassie. I can see why Cassie stayed. That was a lot to leave. But I do think sometimes some people who haven't had that type of lifestyle try to humble you or take this. Because let's just use Kelsey in this scenario. I'm sure when everything was going well for her and her ex, and Kelsey thought she hit the jackpot and that this was forever, she probably behaved in poor taste towards others, specifically her sister. And so her sister is just getting her digs back in. But I'm sure that Kelsey behaved poorly. With everybody, I mean, we see her doing it now. So I can just imagine when everything was good with her ex and, you know, how she thought that this was forever. She thought that she hit the motherfucking jackpot, and she did not. Kelsey's sister asked how much was the rent, and Kelsey shares with her sister and her mother that she wasn't paying the rent. That her ex was paying the rent, and her mother and her sister gave each other a look, and you can tell that her mother wasn't pleased. Kelsey also shared that he's also paying for her health insurance and her car insurance.
Wait a minute now.
Kelsey said that her ex offered to pay these things for her, and just because she wasn't married to him doesn't mean that she's not entitled to his help. She spent 10 years with him. But beloved, you aren't entitled to his help. You aren't entitled. You wasted 10 years of your life, and from what you said, he was upfront about what he wanted out of the relationship. And nobody is negating that him giving you the money or helping you is a nice gesture. But to get an apartment or anything based off of him paying for it, to me, just seems foolish. If he's going to help you, let his money be just that. Let it be the help. You should get you an apartment or a place that you can afford on your own. That way you can keep a roof over your head and not have your livelihood be dependent on a man or anybody for that matter.
Message.
Anything can happen between now and then. And if he didn't give you all the money up front, you are setting yourself up for failure. 9 times out of 10, a nigga just ain't gonna give you no free money.
Ain't no man gonna give you a motherfucking thing free.
It comes with strings attached. And the first time you say no to something, you will be out there on your ass. You will be out there on your ass. Kelsey said that she could have moved in with Bill and she wanted to see what it was like to live on her own. And some can argue that you're not living on your own until you're paying for it on your own.
Yup.
Billy doesn't approve of her ex paying for everything. And that sounds like who she's trying to convince that she's entitled to her ex's money, right? She's trying to convince Billy, because I haven't seen anybody give her any pushback about him helping her. But we do know, she did state that Billy doesn't like him paying for anything, okay? Or she alluded to it. Kelsey told her mother that she sees a future with Billy. I need to know Billy's backstory and about his parents, because Kelsey has basically been slutted out by this man, right? And ran through in Rhode Island, and here Billy is expected to pick up the dead weight. And I really feel like Kelsey doesn't want him. She just knows that he likes her and he will be happy to marry her. And there's nothing wrong with that on her end, right? I think that you should always want someone that wants you more. But it just seems like that in Kelsey's head, she's settling because her lifestyle is going to scale down by a lot. And I know that Billy feels that. Again, there is no guarantee that Billy is going to marry Kelsey. Probably when everything was low-key before the show, but now I'm sure he's looked at like the biggest simp in Rhode Island since this show has started. And I just don't see this relationship lasting. Because if Billy was my brother, I would run Kelsey's ass off. And I try not to get into my brother and my sister's relationships, but I will run Kelsey off. There's no way. Not my brother. Okay? And the family doesn't respect Billy. Did y'all catch the shade that the sister threw at Billy? She said, you'll always come to the rescue for the most part. They think that this man is a sucker, waiting to get lit. That's shade.
I don't miss shade.
Now, her mama not going to take it there because she wants the best for her daughter. But the sister is letting us know what she really thinks of him. A person who will always come to the rescue, a.k.a. Mr. Save-A-Hole. I want to be saved. They looking at him like Mr. Save-A-Hole. Ashley. Now let's get to Ashley. Ashley's son, Dawson, is doing better. He had cold-induced asthma, and so he's better now, okay? Now, Ashley is an influencer, and from what I'm gathering, Jared is as well, but he's not really serious about it, even though their money from being influencers is their bread and butter, not Audrey's, the coffee shop that he runs. I can definitely understand both sides, that this is our bread and butter, and it keeps the lights on, but on the flip side, it isn't real. Y'all get paid to promote stuff and y'all probably don't really use, and sometimes creating content can be a lot, and it's a whole other thing when your spouse is your partner in it as well. And the lines can get blurred and it will have you questioning what is real. And I also said this before, Ashley will forever make more money being an influencer than Jared will, because it's easier for a woman to influence if she's pretty, right? Because all women want to be pretty for the most part, right? So they can sell stuff to women to make them feel pretty or feel better about themselves. With men, they aren't really respected like that to sell a product unless you're like this macho man or a winner, right? And most of the times those men are usually athletes. There's a reason why Jordans are still selling today and is the #1 shoe and no other shoe has come close, right? Men don't usually follow other men like that unless they're winners, right? Look at the Kardashians and the money that the sister was able to make using their platform and what ended up happening to Rob. Rob tried before the weight gain, right? But who's looking up to Rob? What can Rob sell to everyday men that will make them get up and go and buy something from him or that he's selling? And the answer is nothing. And I believe that that caused his depression and weight gain. I've seen an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where Kourtney was kind of talking shit about him for not using the platform the way that they did. And he did, it just didn't work out for him like that. It didn't work out, okay? Now, every now and then you can see men who are not athletes try to influence, and it can work well for them when they're in like the fitness, like we've seen it with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He was able to build his platform by being somewhat of an influencer through bodybuilding, right? But again, that can only go so far. But it took him all the way to being a governor, and he's not even a citizen. He wasn't even a citizen. He wasn't even. You get what I'm trying to say. Joellen, her mother and her sister go and visit their grandfather's old house. I knew that Joellen was going to use this moment to show her mother up on camera and be nasty. And from the very beginning, even when her mother kissed her, she was nasty. She whispered to Jen, "Did she get lipstick on me?" Joellen is just nasty.
A nasty bitch.
I can tell that her mother was blindsided by the conversation. I think that she thought that she was showing up to go over memories and this is going to be this, sweet, filming session with her and her daughters. But in true Joellen fashion, she wanted to bash her mother on camera, okay? Joellen says that the behavior she exhibited as a teenager did not warrant her to be sent away, and her mother says that it did. I do believe that Joellen was off the chain as a child. You can tell by the stuff that she has shared on camera. And I could never see myself sending my child away, but I can't judge the lady, right? Again, you never know what you'll do until it shows up on your doorstep. In my head, though, I keep wondering where was the dad and this perfect grandfather if these girls kept being sent away to the girls' home. I don't know why I keep on talking like my grandmother in this video. My grandmother used to call it the girls' home and the boys' home when we was growing up, right? But again, where was this perfect grandfather if they kept being sent away year after year? Because when you tell me that you had a perfect grandfather, I'm believing that we're seeing the grandfather a couple of times a week, right? We've seen my grandmother, my mother's mother, my maternal grandmother, we've seen her a couple of times a week. So if we was gone, my mama had sent us somewhere, she would know about it. I'm trying to understand, I don't know. I just feel like that with Joellen, she keeps on making her grandfather seem like this perfect guy to spite her mother.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest about it.
Joellen's mother says that she loves her daughters and she parents them the way that her mother parented her. I have no doubt that she loves her daughters, but I've learned with age that love shows up different ways for different people. So it's possible that she loved them, and I do believe her. And it is also possible that they didn't feel the love, and I do believe that coming from Joellen and Jen. Okay, Joellen says that she's not very nice because of the way that she was brought up.
Girl, stop.
And I think that that's bullshit, right? I think that Joellen is a nasty bitch because she's a nasty bitch.
A nasty, nasty bitch.
I remember Kerry Washington saying when she was promoting her book something to the effect of, your parents raised you until you were 18 doing the best that they can with what they had. When you turn 18 and become an adult, it's up to you to stop pointing fingers at what they did and didn't do, and to pick up where they lacked and start raising yourself.
Message!
And that stuck with me. That stuck with me because I do have the tendency still to this day to like point fingers at my parents and say, y'all didn't do this, y'all didn't do that. But there is so much information available nowadays where you have to pick up the slack. You have to pick up the slack and become the person that you want to become. So Ellen's mother apologized. She said that she wanted to be a better mother for her daughters and her grandkids, and promises to work on their relationship. And I do wish them well. It seems like that she's already a great grandmother. You know, there's a saying that when you don't raise your children, you ended up raising your grandchildren. And she seems to be an active grandmother, and I do wish them well. Liz meets up with Black Dolores at the lab. Remember, she owns a dispensary, and Black Dolores has been involved in the cannabis business for years through her ex-husband, Frank. Okay? Liz and Black Dolores developed a menopausal gummy that addresses all the negative symptoms that comes along with it.
That is big.
I think that this is wonderful. I love that women like them and Halle Berry reached a certain age, started experiencing menopause, and want to inform younger women on what to expect, and are actually looking to find remedies to help them through it. Now, fun fact that I did not know, Rhode Island is the first state to make menopausal women a protected class in the workspace. I also think that that is great. Liz said that when she was going through menopause, she thought that she was going to die, that her weight dropped to 105 pounds, and she could not some days she couldn't get out of bed, and she still has a hard time remembering things. Black Dolores says that she and Paulie almost broke up because they were having fist fights about the thermostat. Now, the gummy is already developed and they're testing it. They said that the taste of it was good, but there is no way that they can make me believe that they tried that gummy and right away it relieved all of their symptoms.
Stop playing with me.
There's no way that they can make me believe that. But I do wish them success, and I wish that all women who are blessed enough to live to see menopause have something that can help relieve some of the negative symptoms that come with it. Next, we got Rulla, okay? She and Brian are hosting Alicia and Billy. I told y'all when the women went to Newport and Rulla didn't show up, I didn't believe that she was sick, right? If you let people talk enough, the truth will eventually come out. She missed the trip because she felt like it was a lot of negativity coming from Joellen and other people in the group. And by other people in the group, she means Liz. Liz is the other people in the group. It seems like Rosie and Ashley were actually correct about their assessment. The women seem to be scared of Liz, but hiding behind saying that they respect her. Girl, fuck Liz. Who is she supposed to be? Alicia says that she feels guilty because she knows about the video of Brian with the missions, and she really wants to just enjoy him and Rulla. So not only is Brian a podiatrist with his own practice, he also has a wellness center on the other side of his practice, like Dr. Eugene did. Okay, now Brian offers Botox, Ozempic, steroids and other pharmaceutical drugs, but Brian has been on all three: Botox, Ozempic, and steroids. Okay, Brian talked about getting on Ozempic to lose weight and feeling like he lost a lot of muscle definition, and then getting on steroids to, you know, bring in more definition, and then getting back on Ozempic again. Right? I'm all for doing things that make you feel better, but I think that with these drugs, it can become a continuous cycle of trying to chase perfection. I remember Black China talking, saying you get surgery for something, then you find the next flaw and try to get surgery for that too, trying to chase perfection, right? And I think that it's so easy to try to chase perfection, or, you know, to be picking yourself apart when you don't actually have to work for it. You could just go to the doctor and have them do it for you. And I think that that's dangerous. I do wonder though, why don't we refer to Brian as Dr. Brian? Right? It seems like every other doctor on Bravo gets the respect of being called doctor except for him. So I want to start calling this man Dr. Brian. Shit, y'all even call y'all even call Cheyenne doctor. Well, y'all did at one point. You know, I told y'all before, I never believed that woman was no doctor. She's a fraud. You're fraud! You're fraud! Now, in the middle of dinner, Dr. Brian phone dinged and he went to the restroom. He said that he was a business call. Listen, whether Dr. Brian is cheating or not is none of my business. However, I just don't like how Bravo is playing with this family. And I just don't see a world where Rulla is coming back after this, okay? Dr. Brian told a story that made me sick to my stomach. Okay, it made me sick. He said that when he met Rulla, he was ordering them drinks, and Rulla told him what she wanted, and he asked the bartender to make hers a double and his a single. And the whole night she got a double to his single, and it worked out. What kind of bullshit is that? Now, I don't drink. Well, before this weekend, I didn't. So you gotta help me out. A double to me means double alcohol. So in my mind, wouldn't this be considered drugging? Because Rulla is under the assumption or the impression that she's having a single as well. And my question is, could she not taste it? And she probably could taste it and thought that the drinks were made really, really strong, right? But she has no idea what he's drinking, right? And if his drink is strong like hers is, she's probably just assuming it. So it could be drugging if it's just alcohol. I would think that it would still be considered drugging. And might Rulla run? Rulla looked so embarrassed when he told the story. And Dr. Brian, you are acting like another doctor. You acting like Dr. Cosby. I don't like this.
I don't like this at all.
Alicia decides not to tell Rulla about the video. Smart girl. Now, I don't think it makes her a bad friend. She said that she feels it makes her a bad friend. It makes her a friend that is minding her business. For me to tell someone that I saw a video of their spouse cheating, they would literally have to be crying to me, asking me, did I know something? And even still, I honestly just don't know a scenario where I would tell someone something like that. Like, they would have to ask me. For example, I had a friend. She was dealing with this guy, and another girl that I went to high school with was dealing with the same guy, but I was closer to one of the girls. And one day, it was around Christmas time, I took my mom to go see Notorious, and I saw my friend, boyfriend, or man, or nigga she was going with, whatever you want to call it. I saw him there with the girl, right? Now, they both had been dating the nigga on and off for years or whatever, so they knew about each other. And so something had happened to where the girlfriends, after I saw them there, the girlfriend and her had ended up getting on the phone, and she told my friend that they were at the movies, and I guess my friend didn't believe her, and she told her that, as she said, ask Drew, he was there, he saw me, he was with his mama. So my friend called me and asked me, did I see the nigga there with the girl? And I said, yes. And she asked how come I didn't tell her? And I said, well, girl, I just told you. And the truth of the matter is, girl, I don't want to be involved in what y'all got going on. Y'all both know that he dealing with both of y'all. So why do I need to come back and report on what, you know what I'm saying? Why do I need to come back and report? My name shouldn't even be brought up. All I did was try to take my mama to the movies. I don't want to be a part of this shit show, right? And so if you come and ask me, did I see something? Yes, I will share. But for the most part, I'm not just about to go and come and tell. I just don't see a world where I would do that. I just want to mind my business and be in peace.
Please go away from me with this.
Okay. Does that make me a bad friend? I don't know. I don't think it does. You know, I have seen some stuff go down before. Now, let's get to Rosie, okay? Now, she has invited Kelsey over to cut her hair, okay? Now, Kelsey called Billy and told him that she planned on busting Kelsey's balls a bit because she called her out about the square footage of her house, and she can joke about it because it's now in their past. But is it really in y'all past, Kelsey? Is it really life lessons? The fact that Kelsey, who just moved into an apartment that, according to her sister, is the size of her ex-boyfriend's closet, even has the audacity to joke about whatever Kelsey is doing with her home is preposterous. Now, Rosie has a plan of her own. She has the floor plan for the renovations to her house sitting upstairs, so when Rosie makes it to the top floor, she can be gagged and see what they are actually building, okay? So Kelsey pulls up and she has a siren going and she's blowing the horn saying, this is the house police. Rosie Woods, this is the house police. Suspect says 8,000 square feet, more like 8,000 inches.
See, that's a dirty ass bitch right there.
I'm telling you that at this point, Kelsey wouldn't have even made it in my doors. Not only was this joke in poor taste, you're making noise so that the neighbors are being alerted of your quote unquote little joke, right? But see, Rosie had the floor plans upstairs and she was committed to the gag. I would have said, fuck the gag. The gag would have been you out there on your ass, like that nigga left. Now, when Kelsey pulled up and got out of the car, she was all smiles. But when she made it upstairs and saw the floor plan, she wasn't happy. That smile quickly faded because she knew that she could not compete with cold, hard facts, okay? But Kelsey tried to play bad bitch, and she said she would measure after the haircut cut. And Rosie says, we can measure right now because it looks like it's going to rain. The fact that Kelsey thought that Rosie was going to still let her cut her hair after the stunt she pulled in the driveway shows me that she is stunted in her development.
You's a stupid motherfucker.
There is no way I'm going to help you after what you just did. Bitch, you need me. I don't need you. I don't need you. Rosie didn't ask what is the issue with the square footage. Was it that it changed from February being 8,000 to 5,000? And Kelsey says it was a joke and she was being lighthearted. It wasn't a joke though, baby. You were trying to make Kelsey the ass of a joke, and that's the difference. That's a difference, especially when you are flat out on your ass, right? That's that mean girl shit. And I'm so glad that they were alone, because if Joe Ellen and Liz was there, they would have gaslit Rosie and told her that she was overreacting. You can see how upset Kelsey is. She's literally fuming.
You're getting bothered.
And Rosie moves the floor plans. She turns around and she shifts her weight on one foot and she asks Kelsey, where the fuck is your house? At least my name is on this deed to this one. Where the fuck is your house? And Kelsey then tells Rosie she's being aggressive.
What?
Aggressive? Aggressive? After you just turned on the siren outside of my house in my neighborhood making announcements on a microphone? I'm being aggressive? No, baby, you're just not used to people telling you the truth. Your mama, Liz, Joe Ellen, they all coddle Kelsey and they don't tell her the real. But Rosie said, if you want to be a bitch to me, let me show you two can play that game and let's get to talking truth. You were over there with that man for over 10 years, chasing fool's gold, letting him do whatever the fuck that he wanted to do, compromising your goals and morals because you thought that you had a bag, or you thought that he had a bag. And now you're out on your ass with nothing to show for it, still looking for handouts from him to pay your motherfucking rent. That's the truth. And that's what nobody in this group has told Kelsey. You was chasing fool's gold, baby. You was over there for 10 years and left with nothing. Left with nothing. Still got to ask him for shit. Still dependent on him.
Stupid bitch.
Rosie asks her, what have I done to you? I'm sorry I called you a polygamist at a picnic, but when you have a boyfriend and he has other girlfriend, that's polyamory. Kelsey is now telling Rosie to shut the fuck up. Why? Why do I got to shut the fuck up? You can't handle the truth? I thought that we was busting balls. Let's bust balls, right? Rosie then tells Kelsey to get the fuck out of my house, and Kelsey says that she will, and she says that she has one thing to say. And they go back and forth, and Kelsey started pointing, and I had to rewind it because she pointed like she was finger fucking Rosie because she was ready to fight, right? Rosie done already read her the field. She not about to make no money, and then she getting kicked out the house, right? And I guess Kelsey figured, I'm leaving here with something. I'm going to win the fight. I can't win nothing else, right? I'm going to win the fight. Now, I have to admit, I'm fair. Rosie was walking closer to Kelsey, and she kind of towered over Kelsey, and Kelsey pushed Rosie with her forearm and said, back the fuck up. And Rosie tells her, don't ever fucking touch me. Get the fuck out of my house. You're literally no one. Talk to me when you have a house. Talk to me when you have a husband. Talk to me when you have a career. And Kelsey says, I don't have a career. Rosie says, you don't have a career. Sucking dick is not a career, bitch.
Yes. Oh.
Kelsey was gagged. And I know that she was gagged because she actually clutched her invisible pearls and said, really?
Yes. Yes.
Rosie continues, the only thing you ever did in life is win a pageant and you didn't even win it. Your sugar daddy paid the judges. Kelsey says that she won the pageant fair and square. I don't know if I believe that. Kelsey says, get the fuck out of my house. We're not friends. We're not cool. Here, I'll help you. And she started grabbing her suitcase. Kelsey tells her not to touch her stuff. And she looked so silly trying to grab the suitcase from Rosie, who is kicking you out going towards the door. And she's trying to play tug of war, like backing herself back. Girl, get the fuck out the house. So you need to be walking forward.
Get your swag on, walk that way.
Maybe Rosie would have let the suitcase go if you would have just walked forward with the suitcase, but you walking backwards like you trying to stay in the house. Baby, you got to get out the house. So you playing tug of war for what? Rosie ended up with the suitcase and she ended up throwing it outside in the driveway. And Kelsey is gagged and embarrassed. When she made it to the front door, if you looked, she looked back and gave production like an embarrassing, nervous laugh because she was embarrassed. Now, the way that Rosie threw that suitcase, I'm just being honest, we would have been in that driveway fighting. Because she threw that suitcase was face down, ass up. And my thing is, you can move my suitcase out of the house, but to throw my shit, girl, you didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to do all that, baby. No, ma'am. No, I'm just being fair. Now, while Rosie is doing this, she is talking shit, and she said that she's tired of Kelsey and the clique. But I gotta be honest. When Rosie walked back into the house, she did touch Kelsey first. Kelsey was in the doorway, and Rosie pushed her. Kelsey pushed her back, and Rosie shut the door on her with the door and locked it. And Kelsey tried to open the door. Baby, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That can get you killed. You never fight a person in their home or open a door to someone's home because they will always have the upper hand and they can kill you. And in certain states, they have that right. The king of the castle. This is their castle. So they do have the right.
Learn something from this.
Kelsey goes to the driveway and sees her suitcase on the ground, face down, ass up. And then she turns back around and production has opened the door. And I do not like that. Do not open my motherfucking door when I put a bitch out. I don't give a fuck if we were filming a fucking State of the Union address. Do not open my door when I put a bitch out. Y'all don't know what this girl's intentions are and what she got on her. So don't open my door. This is for my safety. Okay? Kelsey came back in and said, I won the pageant fair and square. So no, I don't suck dick for a living. And you can tell that it really hurt her feelings, which is remarkable because people think that they can walk around and do and say whatever they want to, but when other people do the same thing, all of a sudden their feelings are hurt. Girl, fuck you. I don't give a damn what Kelsey got going on. I don't, okay? Rosie says, actually, Kelsey, everyone in Rhode Island knows that you fuck married men. You're a fucking slam pig. Don't ever come for me again. And baby, I was proud. I was proud. I loved it. And I was so proud of Rosie. I was also so glad that they were at her house by themselves because Rosie doesn't have that relationship with the other women that Kelsey does. And all they would have done was gaslight her. Okay. Now with this happening, I actually do not buy the story that Kelsey gave about Rosie being fired for fucking someone in production at her old job. I now believe that Kelsey just said that because she knew that this was coming down the pipeline and she wanted to have something to say about Rosie. But I actually believe what Rosie is saying about Kelsey. I do believe that Kelsey is a slam pig. And Billy is just there, like her sister said, to pick up the slack. Mr. Saberho. But that was the episode. Y'all, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Alicia is a bad friend for not telling Rulla about the video of Dr. Brian and the mistress? Better yet, do you think that a person is a bad friend when they've seen evidence of their friend's spouse cheating on them and chooses to stay out of it? And what would you do? You know, I just don't see a world where I would. A lot of people, it's not that. I just found that in my life experiences that a lot of people are not mature enough to handle that information coming from a friend because they're going to be insecure about it, right? And then they're going to feel judgment from that friend. So me, I ain't saying shit. I ain't see nothing. I ain't see shit, okay? And do you think that Kelsey was joking with Rosie or do you think that Rosie overreacted, right? Unless Kelsey is slow, I don't think that this was a joke. And my thing with Kelsey, you need to know when to hold them and you need to know when to fold them, right? You came to Rosie's house to provide a service, and the goal should have been to get Rosie to post you on her page to help your business, right? So you can get up from under your pimp. You were not there to be Joan Rivers. You was not there to be Chelsea Handler. And please don't move the line and say that Rosie is nobody, because she was somebody enough for Kelsey to be slighted because Rosie didn't post her in the first place. Okay? But y'all, that's all I got right now. I'm sorry that this review was late, but you know, we got it now, and I will be trying to watch Rhode Island. I will try to have that review out probably before Friday at the latest. I'm probably going to have it out by Friday. But again, you guys, thank you all for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry. Please like the video, y'all. Share the video, hype the video up, and all that good stuff. And I will see y'all later. Adios.